Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday, and with me, as always, my co-host, Nick Mason.
I like how you emphasise the weekly there. It's great to be here, by the way.
I enjoy how you get a kick out of it if I do it slightly different sometimes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And you really...
It thrills you.
You really laid that on as well, just in case I'd miss it, because I might. If you're like The Weekly Planet, I'd be like, what do you say?
Did I miss it?
What do you say?
Yeah.
Or is that you just emphasise a word so I lock in and start paying attention?
Exactly.
Last week, did you emphasise the?
I don't fucking know. Why would I know that?
I don't know.
Actually, let me open my spreadsheet.
Did you bold and italic it?
I do, yeah.
Next week, could you emphasise the planet?
I can do that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I can do it now for you. No, you know what? You can wait. Like
Save it up.
everybody
Save
else.
up the gold, mate. Save it up.
Wow. And there's a lot of gold this week, Mason, let me tell you, including the news of the week.
That's right.
First of all, we have the passing of Chance Perdomo. That's not good. That's not a good thing. There's some other, so we'll get to that, but there's some other things to talk about, including the Fantastic Four, some Fantastic Four details, Mason.
Oh, some fantastic news.
That's right, some Silver Surfing casting. We've got some dates for some Disney movies that have been shuffled around a bit.
Okay, sure.
We know pretty much how much money they lost on that latest Indiana Jones movie.
Was it a lot?
It was quite a lot of money, yeah.
Was it the amount of money it cost to make and market minus the box office?
No, it was just a lot of money. I couldn't tell you specifically, but it just seemed like a lot of money that you could have spent no money and you would have saved quite a lot of money.
That's actually true, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, just my opinion.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Bob Iger, number one. He's done it.
Oh, he's back on
He's
top.
done it again.
Bobby Iger back on top.
That's right. An adaptation of Avengelyne.
Okay, sure, right.
You okay with that?
Image Comics Avengelyne, her of the impossibly tiny waist.
Yes.
And the weird poses.
That's what you like about it.
Remember weird women poses
Yeah.
in comic books in the 90s? Twisted around so you can see their boobs and their bum at the same time.
Absolutely just shattered spines.
That's right.
Organs twisted in a knot.
There's no room for organs.
No, you're right. Yeah. Dune Part 3, and of course, The Matrix 5. And then we're going to talk about the movie of the week that we saw.
That's right.
It's the movie Monkey Man.
That's right.
People are saying John Wick in India, but I think it's not quite John Wick in India.
John Windia.
John Windia.
If you went to Chicago, they'd call it John Windia.
That's true, yeah.
He'd be in the Windy City.
Would be in the Windy City, yeah.
Oh, and also one more thing. I mentioned it last week. I'm going to be on a live show if it do go on.
Oh, is that the one I'm also going to be on?
You're also going to be there, April the 14th. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, tickets are flying off the shelves, but also they're still available. So if people want to...
So tickets aren't exactly flying off the shelf.
They're flying off the shelf and then they're sort of whipping around in a sort of tornado situation, then they're falling back on the shelf.
And that'll give you enough time to maybe grab one.
I think so.
Yeah.
Imagine you're in one of those, one of those prize tunnels.
Yeah.
And then there's
you got to grab the cash.
You got to grab the cash.
By the way, if you're ever in that...
Which is going to happen.
To pin your arm up against the wall, and then you can kind of like grab a bunch at once. Oh, and there's time codes below if you want to jump to anything in particular.
But I was going to say, James, tickets are available. So
yes.
there'll be a link in the
episode
episode
back
description.
down in there.
Yeah. But I would love to see people there and people can say hi.
And they can see me.
And they also can enjoy the shenanigans of Do Go On.
Yeah, and I'll be there.
We're going to laugh and learn, and James is going to be there.
100%, won't I? I'm not lying.
He might be lying.
You've guaranteed that I'll be there.
Have I?
Promised everybody that I will be there.
Okay.
And I would never let you down.
Look, there's only two things that I can promise. James will be there and we'll have one of those tunnels filled with cash and everybody's going to win cash. Everybody gets a go.
That's great. So here's some very sad news. Chance Perdomo, people might know from the chilling adventures of Sabrina and, of course, Gen V more recently, has passed away at age 27. Very sad news. So friends and cast members were all coming out with various messages of love and support. I've got a statement here from his family, which I'll just read out now. It said, his passion for the arts and insatiable appetite for life was felt by all who knew him, and his warmth will carry on in those who loved him dearest. We ask you to please respect the family's wish for privacy as they mourn the loss of their beloved son and brother. So yeah, age 27, awful, horrendous.
Just starting out,
Yeah, that's it. People have also been asking about what's going on with Gen V. Apparently, we're supposed to begin production in late March, early April, but that's just not happening for the moment. For sure. They will continue it because it's Amazon and it's a hit show.
That's true.
So they'll probably recast, I'd imagine. He's probably too integral to write out.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But yeah, just really sad, really tragic. A lot of people also mentioned, the 27 Club. It's another member of that. So yeah, just boo all around. So yeah, it is what it is.
Sure,
a bad and terrible thing.
You got anything to brighten it up, or have you got more bad news here, James?
Well, it depends. What do you
section.
think about Fantastic Four? Do you love
they're
it?
fantastic.
Oh, here we go then.
And there's 4 of them.
There is
Marvel Comics.
what?
Yep.
And a robot. Sometimes there's 5.
Sometimes there's 5.
Sometimes they get other members. Sometimes Baghead Spider-Man or whatever.
Yeah, and
joins
Wolverine
up.
and Ghost Rider
Yeah,
and
it's
the
fine.
4th guy.
Yeah, 4th guy. 4th guy.
Can't remember who it is. Ghost Rider? I said him.
Ghost Rider. Anyway, they celebrated. They celebrated for 4-day.
Is that anything, or have they just made that up?
It's nothing. It's actually absolutely nothing.
Okay.
With a Fantastic Four poster with a Human Torch on it. I don't know if you saw this.
I did see it. He's doing the classic flying across the sky and he's drawing the 4 in flames.
But what's wrong with it? What's different?
Wow, that's a great question. I mean, again, every one of these we're delving into for clues as to the possible.
Yeah, we love this.
The possible. Any possible secrets to the plot of the movie? It looks like he's flying above a city that is quite dissimilar from New York City, baby.
It seems retro-futuristic.
Suggesting it might be
the Austin Powers universe.
Might be the Austin Powers universe. It might be an alternate New York City from a parallel universe, which I think ties in with somebody had a rumor last week that they're coming from another universe.
Yeah, which explains why nobody knows.
That's true.
Because someone would mention it at some point.
Could be above the Stark Expo.
Oh my God, it's probably not that.
No,
I think it's the other universe thing.
Yeah.
I think this next bit of casting lends itself to that because the Silver Surfer has been casted. Julia Garner.
Side note, I hate it when people say that.
Yeah?
When they say, oh, this person's been casted, it's cast.
Casted.
Ah.
You don't like that
Actually,
either?
making it casted is
Because it's funny.
That is funny, actually.
It's funny.
Yeah.
And you can expect more fun things like that at that live show I'll be at.
Great.
Right?
Yeah.
From me specifically.
Okay.
So Julia Garner will play Charla Bell.
Charla Bell, yes.
That version of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
And when this came out, I went, oh, great. She's great.
We saw her in the Royal Hotel just recently.
She's in Jason Bateman's Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah. Was that?
Really great actor. People are not going to care about this.
This will be universally met with
I don't know why am I so naive to be like nobody gives a shit about this.
Right.
And then this thing blows up. Famous, by the way, genitalialist, the Silver Surfer,
right.
A character built like a Ken doll. I just don't. It's probably not the MCU. It's obviously like an alternate version.
If I may, James. So for people who don't know the story of the Silver Surfer, obviously there's a cosmic being called Galactus, and he. For eons, he goes around the universe. He must consume the life force of planets to survive, which means everybody on the planet dies. He ends up on the planet. Well, now I've lost it. No, it's not Earth. I'm going to look it up. But regardless, one of the
Mars.
It's not Mars. Not Mars.
Is it one of the other planets near us?
No. Can't believe
I
went into that with such confidence.
You know the Mars has a face and a pyramid on it. And I think it's real and it means something and there were alien civilizations there. Do you know
I know that. Yeah.
Do you know I think that?
I like that and I believe it. I think it's cool.
God, if they actually do find something, I'm going to look like a real idiot, aren't I?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So Galactus comes to the planet Zenlar.
Yeah.
And
how do you spell this planet? Is it with an X or a Z?
It's a Z. And there's a hyphen.
Oh.
But not where you'd think. It's at the end.
I'm going to eat this planet. I'm just making conversation. I'm going to eat it regardless.
I like to make some polite conversation before I get. I show up and if I just show up and I say I'm going to eat this planet, people are like, well, that's rude. But a resident of the planet, a guy named Norrin Rad, flies up in his little spaceship and he says, "How about instead
don't."
How about don't, mister?
Yeah.
And Galactus is like, well, what are you going to do about it, little bald man? You know?
Where are your genitals?
That's right.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
That's none of your business.
That's right. We've all got them and they're cool. But he says, what if I fly ahead of you and find uninhabited planets that you can eat? And he's like, well, not in your stupid little spaceship. I'll give you the power cosmic and you become...
Sick.
But he forgets, but as a result, Norrin Rad becomes the Silver Surfer and he forgets about his planet and his...
All that silver gets in his brain.
Exactly. And his...
He's got lead poisoning.
Exactly. And his space girlfriend, Shalabal.
Yeah.
So this presumably is an alternate universe where Shalabal becomes the Silver Surfer, not him. So...
Yeah.
And
and even if it's not, who cares?
Well, exactly. I mean,
also, if this movie is bad, and it could be,
yes,
it's not going to be. This isn't going to be the reason.
No, but I often think that the concern here is for some people is that they want the movie to be exactly representative of the comics and for it to be good. They don't want the good one to be not exactly representative of the comics.
Yeah.
because then people will think that's what the comics are like or something. Like, when they were like, we're going to do a Black Superman movie.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were like, well, I don't like that, because what if that's the really good one? And people go, oh, yeah, Superman, I know Superman, it's that guy. And they're like, well, no, it's not.
So what happened to Nick Fury? They got him, didn't they?
Got him good, didn't they? He's based on Nick Fury Jr.
I know. So. Is he though?
No, he's not really. Anyway, it's
the ultimate thing. It's whatever. We're talking about it. But yeah. Also, Lakeith Stanfield came out and said on the deleted post, thought it was going to be me, but IG.
Yeah.
Which I think could indicate, well, he could have been up for that role.
Uh-huh.
Also, he's another Silver Surfer in that universe, or the one in the regular MCU timeline.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I think probably Galactus is going to destroy that version of Earth or something, and they're going to jump over to our dimension and be like, this isn't very groovy. This isn't the Austin Powers universe.
Exactly, that's right.
We love watching Austin Powers because it reminds us of our universe. And then the Silver Surfer in that main MCU was maybe somebody else, or it isn't. I don't care.
Yes, that's right.
Because, look, I know... No, but look, it's probably some people, but, like, nobody's favorite character is really the Silver Surfer. There are exceptions.
Obviously, the characters in the movie Crimson Tide, who argued over which artist's version of the Silver Surfer was best, they apparently they're the two guys in the world. And they died on that sub, so it doesn't matter.
Everybody's a Norin Rad fan all of a sudden.
That's right.
You know? It's just this, like, come on, man. Yeah. Let's be real.
I think that is more accurate sometimes than other times. Like, whenever anybody critiques... the portrayal of Vigilante on the Peacemaker series. I'm always like, I read Vigilante as a kid, but I don't think it's anybody's. Surely they would never make a Vigilante show or movie with the characterization of the one from the comic books, because he's just a vigilante. That's it. He's just a guy out for revenge and fights crime, and he's got a mask and a gun. It's not very interesting.
Like everybody else.
Exactly. So it works better so I think there are some genuine huge Silver Surfer fans, but I suspect, I would.
But also then, like, if you know that, then you know that there are multiple Heralds of Galactus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you know that they're getting replaced all of the time.
Now, is this, and I think there even is a canonical.
I hate talking about
I know.
this.
I think there even is a canonical parallel universe version of the Silver Surfer that is Shallow Bell.
But also, like, I don't care. Like, I don't care if there is or isn't, because some ideas are new. This one isn't, but some are.
Sometimes it's nice to have a new idea. Yeah.
And again, like, it could be terrible.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's right.
There's already a terrible one.
Yeah. Do you think maybe this is a test bed kind of situation?
I hate this.
I know. Where they're going to run with this, and if people don't like it, they'll be like, well, she was just the one from the parallel universe, and he's the real one.
He's the real one. God, you're not going to believe how many genitals he doesn't have.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's as smooth as the day's long.
That's right, yeah. Mm-hmm. People might say, well, the Silver Surfer, like, that covers his genitals. I've seen him out of the silver.
Have you?
There's nothing going on there. Oh, no. I've seen Rise of the Silver Surfer. He's a grey man. He's a grey man.
It's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Weekly Planet's official stance is we like Julia Garner. So good call.
And don't fucking at me. I don't care enough to argue with you about this.
Okay, let me ask you this,
Leave
though.
me alone.
Let me ask you this, though, James. Do you think they're going to go with long hair, bald? Which
no,
one
long hair.
You think so?
Slick silver long hair.
Okay.
One locked in piece.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I
White
want.
girl dreadlocks?
Yes.
Silver?
Even better.
Yeah, terrific.
Yeah.
I love
it. I love it.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, it'd be nice if we went one day on the internet without
I thought we
everybody's
were.
heads
I
exploding.
honestly, I'm a moron. I honestly just went, cool. And then I didn't, now I have to have an opinion on this
That's
thing
right.
I don't really care about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm defending Disney, which I don't like doing. I'm just saying it's not a big deal. Who cares? All right. Speaking of Disney news, Mason.
Love that. Love Disney news.
The Moana live action movie has been pushed a year from June 27th of 2025 to July 10th. That's probably to make way for
2026.
Moana make way.
That's what you're saying.
26, sorry, yep.
Yeah.
So there's a Moana movie later this year.
Okay.
Sort of. It's like they're repackaging the series.
Oh, okay.
And then The Rock is going to do
is
the
that
live
so they
action
only
one.
have to pay the animators TV rates?
Yeah.
Great.
Smart.
Terrific.
Does that actually make all
that's smart.
movies?
That's a Bobby Iger move for sure.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Tron
I love
Ares.
that Bobby. I love Boggy Iger.
You do, don't you? Tron Ares gets a release date of October 10th of 2025, which will mark 15 years after the last one.
Oh no,
That's
I'm turning to dust.
That's not real, is it?
Turning to dust right
That's
now.
not real. I'm looking at this and that's not
When that
real.
came out in
2010.
2010, okay.
It's not real though,
That's
is it?
not real though.
Yeah,
No,
cool.
absolutely not.
Toy Story 5 gets a release date of June 19th, 2026. And The Mandalorian versus Grogu, which is the next Star Wars movie, probably. Because they have that wall. We can put anything on it.
That's right.
That's May 22nd, 2026. So that's a return to the Star Wars May release date, which they haven't done since Solo. And we all know how that went.
Great.
Bad.
Great for everyone.
But I don't know whether we're getting a new season of Mandalorian between now and then, but I tell you this much. Who cares? Mason?
Yes, hello.
Forbes came out and they said, hello, we're official financial magazine. Who's on the cover of Forbes this week?
Look at our suspenders with dollar signs on them.
Oh, my God.
Look at our fancy cufflinks.
Oh, my God.
Look at us smoking a big cigar.
Oh, my God.
That's right. It's a real bacchanalia over at the Forbes offices.
What's a bacchanalia?
You know, smoking cigars and they got big tankards of ale.
Oh, okay.
You know, somebody's playing an organ.
What?
You know.
I don't like any of that.
That's right, yeah.
Sounds
Somebody's on the
bad.
lute.
Someone's on the lute?
Someone's playing the lute.
What's happening over there?
A bacchanalia.
I don't like it. Be normal.
So they're all eating big like turkey legs.
Rich people have lost it, mate. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of these guys, they just buy stuff that they think they're supposed to. Get an actual personality. What are you doing standard rich guy stuff in this made-up scenario of Masons? Get it together.
Yeah, eat something other than a big turkey leg. Get some originality in you.
Exactly. Anyway, Forbes is saying that Disney lost $134 million on Indiana Jones and the Time Travel Sky Hole.
I bet that's low.
You reckon it? Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Apparently it was something like $70 or $79 million in post-production. Like, oh my God, what are you thinking? Again, we've talked about this. It's not Star Wars. Why would you do this? Whatever. But it's happening. It happened. It's done. And we all thought it was going to be good here. We all prayed for it to be good. We all had high hopes.
We all prayed for it to be good.
Yeah.
And we prayed harder than we've prayed for anything, I think.
Yeah.
Over here.
Yeah.
Didn't work that, did it?
What does that tell you about
God's laughing
God?
at us.
He's laughing at us.
He's laughing
but
at
he
us.
is real.
Yeah, he's real.
But he's laughing at us.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right. Bob Iger's number one. He triumphed.
Bobby's on top.
He triumphed against Ike Perlmutter and Nelson Peltz. We've been talking about this the last few weeks, but basically Nelson Peltz and Ike Perlmutter were plotting to take over the Disney board, kick out Bob Iger, potentially fire Kevin Feige, all of these things.
Yeah.
They're making,
his track record's not been so good that Kevin
They're
Feige.
making some big moves, which I appreciate. They lost the vote by a substantial margin, and all 12 board members will remain, along with CEO Bob Iger. Apparently, Disney, the expected cost for Disney for this board battle is around $40 million, which also, I don't understand. What are you buying with that?
Lawyer fees?
I guess.
Yeah.
$40 million, like billboards saying, we
Consultancy?
love Bob Iger.
That's right.
On the way that shareholders, on the freeways that they drive on or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. But Peltz, who's head of the investment firm Tryon Partners, is also estimated to have spent upwards of $25 million somehow. That's not. This dude's a billionaire. That's nothing.
Probably on a bacchanalia.
He might have
To
just
sway
been.
the other
Get a
investors,
real
you know?
hobby. What are you doing? I mean, taking over the Disney board, that's a pretty good hobby,
That would be a
actually.
good hobby for you.
Now, look, is this better for the company? Almost certainly. But did I want to see this happen? Kind of,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Who would they have installed instead of Kevin Feige? Probably Brett Ratner and Brian Singer.
Oh, my God. Maybe Ike Perlmutter, because he was running stuff for a while, and then he was in charge of Marvel Television or whatever.
He's got some good ideas.
Yeah, he had some good ideas.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bob Iger, he had some ideas about on wokeness. People are like, what's going on with wokeness? Is Disney too woke? Mm-hmm. If you thought that, don't worry about it.
I did think that, but continue.
He said, the bottom line is infusing messaging as a sort of number one priority in our films and TV shows is not what we're up to. They need to be entertaining, and where the Disney company can have a positive impact on the world, whether it's, fostering acceptance and understanding of people of all different types, great. But generally speaking, we need to be an entertainment company first, and understanding that, look, we are trying to reach a very, very diverse audience. And I think this is 100% true.
Well, yeah.
They're reaching a diverse audience because they want to get
all the money.
Everybody. It's not about an agenda. We're going to lose. I mean, they fucked up on Indiana Jones. I don't think that's a diversity issue. Because of woke. Sure. I'll even concede that one. They can have that one, all right? You win. That one, you're right.
The wokeness warriors, they're taking Indiana Jones.
You got that one.
Oh my God.
But it's literally just ones and zeros on a spreadsheet. how much money can we get if we pretend that there's a gay person in this movie or whatever.
That we can cut out for markets
Yeah,
that don't like that.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Ghouls.
They are ghouls. The fact, like the first part of that statement there, the fact that they even have to say, the first thing we're about is entertaining. As if he's going to come out and be like, no, we're here to just push a message with products that people don't like.
They wouldn't say that, would they,
No,
Mason?
that's true.
Not with a message. I don't know. I mean, do people know that though? I feel like, I don't know. Am I crazy?
No, it's because so many YouTubers and these commentators, they know it's not true.
Do they? I don't think they all know.
I think some of them do. And I think some of them do. I think probably like the upper tier versions. I've said this before, but like a lot of right-wing commentators, I think they all have like one genuine bigotry in them.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them are like maybe...
It's a solid one.
Exactly.
Like a foundational
like a lot of them have a foundational racist or sexist or homophobic or whatever it is. And then, but then once they're there, they're like, but if I also say that... there's too many trans people in Star Wars movies or whatever.
Is that true?
Yeah, it is. Let's make this a video. Let's chop this bit out and make it a video.
I would never put this in a video. I could not handle.
I think they all have one genuine bigotry, and then they're like, well, now that I'm here, I may as well just say there's too much diversity in Star Wars or too much whatever, and because that gets them... Because like once they've gone past that barrier, why not? And then it's kind of, and I think a lot of them obviously know most of it isn't true, and then maybe and then the people they pitch to that they pitch their videos who don't know that.
Yeah, okay.
And I think there's probably also like a level of creators below them who are just sort of like they're also making videos and they get all their information from the bigger YouTubers and.
I mean, if you're one of the top ones, there's a lot of money in that. If you're starting out now, you're probably late. You probably need a new angle. If I'm being honest with you, but do what you can.
Yeah, that's right.
Do what you can.
Do what you can to ruin the internet forever.
So there you go. Bob Iger doing the Lord's work.
That's right.
Who's laughing at us?
Yeah, that's right.
It's my THR. Olivia Wilde will helm Avengelyne.
If I may stop you there just for a second.
Sure.
Just if I can chew on this in. New T-shirt idea. God is real and he's laughing at us, the Weekly Planet. Saying?
Do you think we put this in the video as well?
Yeah, we'll put this in the video. And that's the text, and above the text is God. And he's on a cloud and he's pointing and laughing.
Yeah.
And then below can
we just use the Family Guy God? It's just easier.
Yeah, we'll do that. And then below it's us and we're crying, I think. And it's rain. Maybe it's raining on us.
Oh, okay.
We're in the podcasting studio, but it's raining on us, and we're like.
Would it be too far if we did like a Calvin style God is pissing on us? Because I think that is too far.
That is probably. But he would be laughing, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that's too far though for a T-shirt, in my opinion.
Okay, I guess we're selling this for real, and we are.
THR. Olivia Wilde will helm Avengelyne. With Margot Robbie's Lucky Chap Productions. Margot Robbie is apparently, at the time, not signed on for Avengelyne.
To be Avengelyne.
I don't know whether that's going to happen. Simon Kinberg will produce famous X-Men, sometimes producer, sometimes director.
Uh-huh.
So Olivia Wilde, the last one she did was Don't Worry, Darling, which I thought was a very interesting concept. You know what? It's a fascinating movie that doesn't land. But I like the world and the...
We did talk about it on the podcast. I think...
We weren't going to do an episode, then we both watched it and went, let's talk about this.
Yeah, I think it could have worked, but I think...
She probably used all her Tron Legacy money on that.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Probably true, which came out 15 years ago or something.
That's what I've heard. Yeah. When she did Booksmart before that.
That's right. Could have worked, but I think, again, they changed the central reveal of it without changing any of the clues that led to the reveal, which meant it made no sense.
Yeah.
But I think it looked good. Yep. I think a lot of the design was good. I think the cast was good,
And the drama on set, Mason.
That's right.
My goodness. Anyway, for those people who don't know, which is everyone, Avengelyne was created by Rob Liefeld.
That's right.
Some of his business. She debuted in 1995 and sent it on a fallen angel cast to Earth.
Is that her deal?
She was entrusted to find and protect the One, a person who was the key to protecting humanity from demons and other monsters.
So
not just demons, other monsters like maybe a bear, like a loose bear.
Like a loose bear, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe a guy with a lot of pouches.
Oh my God.
And a gun in each hand and a gun on each foot.
So Mason, off the top of your head, as the biggest Avengelyne fan, and by that I mean you're the one person who remembers this character.
Right.
Who's the one in this?
Don't know.
God,
no idea. No way of knowing. What if I did know?
Should I look it up?
Yeah, sure.
Or is it like, it was you, Avengelyne, the whole time?
I don't know, man.
Avengelyne Wiki. Who the one. Let me see.
You'll never believe this, James. The original character design for Avengelyne was based on the likeness of former Vampirella model Kathy Christian.
Whoa.
Whoa. You believe that?
Yeah, no. Can I believe that Rob Liefeld just drew something that was already something?
Can you believe that?
I cannot believe it.
Wow. Well, it's true, and he's laughing at you.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's right.
Is he on that cloud with God?
Mm-hmm.
I guess if you get enough money, God will just bring you up, right?
That's exactly right, yeah.
Yeah, cool, man.
No, I don't know who the one was.
I'm looking now. I can't see it.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, hang on. Abilities,
Yeah.
super strength,
Cool,
and
pretty good.
magical blood. What does that mean? The answer is anything.
Yeah.
Anything
Literally
that you goddamn want.
Okay.
All right, should we do more news?
Yeah. Has she had a redesign? I don't remember paying any attention to Avengelyne at the time, but this character design looks way different than what I remember. I might be thinking of a different
Avengelyne.
I might be thinking of a different ridiculously skinny Image comic character from that era.
You might be.
I'm thinking of this is the iconic cover. It's Avengelyne and Glory.
Oh, I had seen that.
Yeah, okay.
Is Glory the one?
No, I guess I've always been confused because that's Avengelyne on the right.
Yeah.
But it says Avengelyne and Glory.
Nice.
Okay. So Glory is the one on the left, I assume.
Yeah.
Well, they've both got cool swords.
This is just before they die because it looks like their organs are twisted in a knot.
That's right.
We got to get a good photo before you go. Yeah. Anyway, Mason.
Anyway, great stuff. Really looking forward to that.
Not happening?
Yeah.
Do you think it's not going to happen? Lucky chap.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if they can, what if it's self-aware? What if it's self-aware?
What if Avengelyne knows that she's in a Lucky Chap Productions movie directed by Olivia Wilde, star of 2010's TronL
and
Legacy?
Produced by Margot Robbie?
Yeah, that's right.
Wouldn't
15 years ago.
That'd be incredible.
Yeah, I would love that. Dune Part 3 is moving forward with Denis Villeneuve. It will be his next project. We weren't sure. I think they weren't sure because they were like, is this going to make any money? Does anybody like this movie? Yes, everybody likes Dune 2. It's a good movie.
That's right.
But he did have another movie in the works, which now he's going to do after. This is via Deadline. It's called Nuclear War, a Scenario. It's an Annie Jacobson novel, and it dives into what would happen in the event of a nuclear war. Yes, it's based on exclusive interviews from both military and civilian experts who built the weapons and have been privy to the response plans and have been responsible for the decisions what that needs to be made.
Did you just get sarcastic midway through that sentence?
There's a nuclear apocalypse. I know what to do. I know what will happen. No, you don't. You might, actually.
Yeah, you might.
Probably more than
Tell
we
us.
would. Yeah, we want to know.
We'd love to know because we're a little bit of a disadvantage because God is laughing
Just tell
at
me
us.
where I need to stand so I can die immediately because I don't want to deal with any of this shit. Mad Maxing about. I don't want that.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I'm on my own. Oh, I'm up against marauders. No, thank you.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
just no.
Good luck getting a nice brunch while you're running from marauders. I'd rather not, thank you.
Oh, I get to eat a lizard. Fuck you. No, I
That's
won't.
right.
I won't.
Yeah.
I'll die in the blast. Not in the fallout.
Yeah.
I don't want to die in the fallout.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
skin
yeah.
falls off.
Yeah.
No, I don't want that.
I don't all wade into this, James, and we're too woke, obviously. But you know when kids growing up and all the girls got like dolls and tea parties and all the kids and all the boys got like guns and stuff with flames down the sides. Like as an adult, if you were like, do you want to be in a war and kill people and maybe get killed or have a lovely tea party? What are you choosing? Lovely tea party.
Yeah. But it's
Yeah.
a real tea party. It's not like a pretend one.
No, it's a
Where I'm
real
like,
one.
Oh, yeah. That'd be awesome.
Right?
Freaking sick, man. So yeah, anyway, Dune Part 3, not a surprise moving forward. So I guess that's at least 3 years away. Based on the novel Dune Messiah. I'd imagine it will deviate a fair bit from that because, I don't know, I think because the book, the end of Dune 2, the movie, is different than Dune 2, the book, which we've both read. Don't ask us any questions.
I've not read it.
Do not ask us any questions. We have both read the book.
Okay.
Yeah. This is something we can talk to. This is via THR. The Matrix 5 or 5th movie is in development.
Is that the title?
Yeah.
Matrix 5 brackets or 5th movie?
Or 5th movie.
Just in case you were wondering.
Yeah, it's directed by Drew Goddard. He did The Cabin in the Woods and The Bad Times at the El Royale.
I like both of those. Does that mean that Hemsworth is going to be involved?
Maybe. Hemsworth is doing a Mad Max movie, so maybe. Lana Wachowski will executive produce. This is the first movie that won't have a Wachowski directing.
Yeah.
And only one of them directed the last one anyways. This is what we know of it.
Okay.
Get ready for this.
I'm ready.
You love the world of The Matrix.
Yes.
And you look back and you're like, those second two, they're actually all right. There's some good stuff in there.
Look, they're all right. Fourth one's all right.
Don't say that. You know it's too woke. We talked about this off air.
That's true, yeah. It's got blue hair and pronouns and all that.
And it's bad. It's pretty bad.
I haven't rewatched it. Did it come out at the movies even? Or was it direct to something?
I think it streamed the same day, but I think we saw it. I know I saw it at the movies.
I can't even remember.
Yeah, it was the end of 2021.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I went to the movies for it.
Okay, great.
So yeah, it's going to be a new take to extend the franchise.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. You know what's bad about it?
What's that?
The action, for me, like the action is like, why aren't you trying?
Yeah.
With the action.
I mean, there's been
It's not the only thing I don't
There was
like
a lot of
about it.
discourse at the time. I've seen some discourse recently, probably due to that announcement on social media about how, well, actually, the fact that it's all a reaction to people, the fact that you're reducing the meaningful, philosophy of the Matrix to bullet time and what have you. Well, actually,
yeah,
this is a reaction to that, and it's the reason.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah,
I don't hate the concept. I really don't. And like you trap Neo in this world where all of that, like it's sort of happened.
Everything's a product.
Yeah, and whatever. And Trinity is hamstrung now because she's been given this fake family, so she's like forced into motherhood.
Aren't we all,
Whoa. Yeah.
You can relate.
Yeah, that's true. My family are all cardboard cutouts.
You move them like in Home Alone. You've got them on strings.
Yeah, one of them is Michael Jordan on a toy trade set, just doing circles in my living room. So yeah, good.
But also, interestingly, this is the Matrix that the fourth one was like warning against in a way. Because the fourth one,
they're like, we're going to do this no matter what.
Yeah, we're going to, for people who perhaps didn't see the last one, the idea was that Thomas Anderson created the Matrix of video game, and then he gets brought in the office by his corporate overlords, and they're like, we're going to make a new one with you or without you.
Yeah.
And that was kind of why Lana Wachowski, who made the last one.
One of the Wachowskis.
Okay, directed the last one because they were going to make it with or without her.
Yeah.
And now they're making one without her, without either of them.
That's right, exactly. Let's see who did the last one. It was Lana Wachowski.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is this going to be any good?
I like Drew Goddard.
Yeah.
And I love this universe. I even like the idea of like the Morpheus in this is an agent who's like, he's heard of Morpheus, so he's like, I've adopted this aesthetic and now this is my role in the universe.
I didn't like that.
Really?
I didn't like.
And then he's in the real world. He's a ball man. I think there's some. Remember, he comes into the real world and he's a ball man.
Who was the guy who?
Was the guy?
Yeah, who was the guy who took Hugo Weaving's place?
Oh,
he's
Jonathan
like a famous.
Groff.
He's a song and dance man.
Jonathan Groff. Yeah.
I didn't like the fact that Hugo Weaving.
No, I didn't like.
Not,
I like Jonathan Groff.
It should have been Hugo Weaving.
I completely. I hit my mic. I completely agree.
But he didn't want to be in it, I guess.
Or he couldn't for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And the only other returning character was Jada Pinkett Smith, who we think is cool.
Yeah. But it's interesting because it's very much, and again, I'm sure that the Matrix Resurrections had a bunch of meaning that I didn't get. And I'll get in 10 years and go, oh, great point, actually. But it felt like so much compromise on the one hand because Lana Wachowski did it even though she didn't want to do it. But she had to do it. And also because the studio was like, we can squeeze some more money out of this, but also because so many people didn't want to return, but they're doing it anyway. So it feels like none of those pillars really held up. Like if you wanted, if even like Lana Wachowski really wanted to make another Matrix sequel, and none of the other cast wanted to return, I'd be like, well, why are you doing it? But the fact that they just had to do it, to wring more money out of people,
Do you think Neo will return with Trinity?
Yes.
We're both now the ones. The twos, I guess.
They're the twos.
Yeah.
The big number twos.
I don't know, I guess. And also, it could be set in... I mean, the Matrix is like... It spans like 1,000 years, maybe. We don't really know the timeline because it's all lost because the city keeps getting rebuilt and, the time period's like fucked. They don't even know where they are,
That's
really.
true.
Yeah. Anyway. But more Matrix is good.
Yeah.
I like a lot of the extended media, like some video game stuff and comics even and Animatrix.
Okay, where would you rather it be set in this pre-existing Matrix universe, so subsequent to Resurrections, or would you want it? Do you want a reboot?
I think it's going to go back to the 99 aesthetic. I don't think they're going to take much of the stuff from the fourth. Yeah, or they'll whether or not that whatever timeline, that's the aesthetic they're going to go for. Like like steel grates that people like ships. It's just the interior is just all of that and cables and people in fishnet fucking singlets and whatever.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. Do you want?
They're just like, yeah, we've set the Matrix to 1999 again.
That's right.
It's
Because that was
then.
the pinnacle of culture.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Also, Neo and Trinity can do anything. At the end of the movie, it was like, we're going to rebuild this because we can do anything again.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever.
So it can't really be a sequel then.
No,
unless-
they can. They can just be like, they reset it, then they died. So no.
That's right.
Go on, sorry.
Or does it have to? I mean, you know how we've talked about how Star Wars, it doesn't always have to be the universe-ending stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a story set in the Matrix universe.
Take that.
You know, like the Animatrix,
Yes.
like any of those smaller stories.
Doesn't
I think
have to
that'd
be like the
interesting,
one's here and the one's got a big thing to say.
Yeah, that's right.
One's got to walk into a room and talk to a guy, and it's important. You better listen.
That's right.
It's important. All right, should we move it along?
Let's move it along.
Yeah. That's a bad way to start this review of Monkey Man. It's very disrespectful.
Disagree.
On your behalf, Mason.
Disagree.
You did say pause, don't record yet. But it already happened.
But your instincts, your recording instincts,
They kick in.
you know?
Yeah.
You're like a leopard in the jungle.
I am
on
like
the savannah.
I am like a leopard in the savannah jungle.
You
Anyway,
just your instincts. You got to hit that record
gotta go.
button, you know?
Yeah. Anyway, Monkey Man, a movie that cost $10 million.
Oh.
And it looks like the box office opening for the US alone is going to be $10 million.
So it's at zero.
It's at zero. It's made $0. Well, not for the people who made
Dev
it.
Goose-Egg Patel.
That's why we're going to talk about how much money that he may have already made from this.
Oh.
It's a pretty okay opening. I think it's the media push this last week has been pretty significant, but before this in the trailer, I didn't really know anything.
You say
about
the
this.
media push has been significant, but I've yet to see Dev Patel on Hot Ones.
Oh,
or on
he did Snack Wars.
Did he do Snack
with
Wars?
Jordan.
Did he really?
What's his name?
Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
I was going to say I didn't see him on Snack Wars, but I guess I'm not up to date.
It might not have been Snack Wars. It was one of those.
Was it British versus
might have been
American snacks?
Something like that.
Okay,
yeah.
right.
Just unbelievable. Anyway, I want to talk about how all this came together, but that's not the only thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about what you think the story was.
Oh, come on, mate.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to come in second behind Godzilla versus King Kong, but above The Omen,
Okay.
which I don't know how much they've been marked. Apparently, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
The second or third in the someone going through a doorway and there's red behind them trilogy.
That's right.
Was Barbarian also somebody
I
going
think it
through
might
a
have
door?
been.
Yeah, so I think it's the second one.
But also, like, this was filmed in like 2020 or something. So
Yeah.
he filmed that a long time
That's
ago.
true.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
So anyway, it's bloody no Barbarian. Somebody's going through a red door and everything around.
everything's
Going through a
red.
regular door and everything around them's red.
Embarrassing for you to
Yeah,
think that.
embarrassing for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so it's a this is your classic revenge flick, James.
Yeah, man.
We got Dev Patel. He's playing the kid.
Yep.
And he when he was a kid,
Yep.
his village was
Something happened.
yeah.
He didn't like that.
He didn't like it. His village was set aflame, and his mother was killed by some government goons.
They were not cool.
They were not cool. You'd think they'd be cool government goons.
They weren't.
And he's out there, and
It
he's
wasn't like the Men in Black. That would have been cool.
so
Imagine
cool.
if the Men in Black turned up and
But you
killed
wouldn't
everyone
even,
in
you
your
wouldn't
village.
even remember to get revenge
Oh,
because
yeah.
they'd neuralize you.
Yeah, they'd say you did this, and then they'd leave.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Anyway.
Anyway, then an indeterminate amount of time passes.
Yep.
Who's to say? And then he's all grown up.
Yep.
And he's going to get revenge on all the guys, including evil Freddie Mercury.
That's right.
Got to fight. I would have said evil Indian Freddie Mercury, but did you know that Freddie Mercury's parents were Indian?
I did know that, I think.
Yeah.
One of them or both of them?
Both of them.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go. Well, regular Freddie Murphy then. No, but evil.
Freddie Murphy.
Did I say Freddie Murphy?
You said Freddie Murphy.
I meant to say Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Didn't I?
Yep.
Anyways, so Netflix bought the worldwide rights to this for $30 million because it was described as John Wick in Mumbai, and they thought, wow, the audience that this could reach.
Well, joke's on them. It's not set in Mumbai. It's set in a fictional city that looks exactly like Mumbai.
But also was filmed in Indonesia. However, that fell through because Netflix felt it was too gritty for Indian audiences. And
some other reasons.
And other reasons, that's right. I was concerned about their reaction to the film's political commentary.
That would be the other thing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So instead, they quietly were shopping it around, and they nearly cancelled it before its release. Then got picked up by Universal and Jordan Peele for $10 million. So Netflix already paid $30 million for this. So that's a win for everybody involved in this movie.
Yeah.
And then Jordan Peele stepped in and decided to him and Dev Patel were like connected on this story. And it was pretty much done at that point, but helped in developing it in the final stages and all of that. But this was an absolute. I was watching a bunch of interviews with Dev Patel in the making of this. What a fucking nightmare this was.
Just for people, maybe we didn't say it. So this is Dev Patel's feature film directorial debut. He wrote it. he stars in it.
He didn't initially want to write it. He didn't want to direct it. He went to Neil Blomkamp at one point.
Makes sense.
Because he was in Chappie.
Yeah.
There's another Chappie person in this.
There's another Chappie in this.
There's another Chappie in this.
Cheeky Chappie. Yeah. He's certainly a cheeky Chappie.
And so, yeah, he wasn't looking to direct this. He was like, you know, and the reason he also wanted to do a role like this because he's like, well, a guy who looks like me is like the guy on the computer, like hacking.
Yeah, that's right.
Or like a funny sidekick.
He is a martial artist in real life. He's got some martial arts training. He wanted to be in an action movie, but they don't.
Grew up with a bunch of like
Hollywood doesn't cast Indian people as the leads unless it's like some sort of Bollywood adjacent thing. And so I guess he was like, I'll take matters into my own hands.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting.
And he was the Green Knight.
He was also the Green Knight. And he was Skins.
He was Skins.
And he was Zuko.
Lion. He was Zuko.
Danny Zuko.
He was Danny
in Avatar.
Zuko? Was he?
What's that guy's name in Avatar? Danny Zuko?
What?
Avatar: The Last Airbender. He's
yeah.
He's
I thought
Danny
you meant
Zuko.
like Blue Avatar. I'm like, is he?
Yeah. He's Danny Zuko.
That's true. He's original Zuko.
Yeah.
Not original. First live action
that's
Zuko.
True. But then I was going to say, did you know recently? So Sydney Sweeney has a movie out now called Immaculate.
Yeah.
And so she auditioned for it years ago.
And all fell through.
Yeah, it all fell through.
It was
they
like
couldn't
2014.
They couldn't get funding, etc. And then now that she has some sway in Hollywood and she can kind of get stuff done, she produced it, and now it's done really well apparently.
Yeah, and she's destroying woke apparently. Another thing.
That's right. Right. Exactly.
Oh, until this movie came out, her Omen movie or whatever, and people are like, "Well, now look at her. Look what she's doing now." And it's like she didn't make this in like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
like, this is obviously movies take quite a while.
They take 4 weeks. They take 4 up. They can take up to 5 weeks if you break your hand and your foot. Apparently.
Well, yeah, that's it. So before like Monkey Paw Productions picked it up, so it was moved from India to Indonesia because of the pandemic. This is one of the last movies that was shot during the pandemic, which was yet to be released. So you got all those protocols. Dev Patel very early on broke his hand, like filming one of the first fight sequences. He also at one point got an eye infection because there's a scene where he's lying on a bathroom floor. It's one of the earlier fight sequences, and it's just dirty water. So we had to do that in real life, and there's like crew like walking around in it, whatever. So he has to like spend the day like face down in water. Like, and there's things like there's a stairwell fight where it goes into first person. And the reason they had to do that is because it was a real stairwell and you can't fit a camera in that space. There's so many things happen. They had the John Wick choreographed guys at one point and they had to step away. And I think he ended up getting, I can't remember the name of the guy, but he got like a guy from YouTube to do a lot of this.
Mr. Beast.
It was Mr. Beast.
Matt
that's right.
Pat?
Yes, it was Matt Pat. And
Markiplier.
Yes, that's right. All of these cool dudes who we know.
We know them all.
Because all YouTubers know each other.
Yeah, they're all friends. Tom Scott. Did he get Tom Scott?
Tom Scott.
Didn't
Tom Scott fly away into the sun or something?
He flew away on a hot dog-shaped balloon, I think. Or a rocket pack or something.
That's right. Yeah. I think, like, I know people are saying...
Somebody photoshopped, I don't know, it was a balloon or something, but somebody photoshopped it out, so it just looks like he's floating off into the sunset or nothing.
Like the flying nun.
Yeah.
Just disappearing. That's a reference that people definitely know. I think, like, and I know Dev Patel has talked about this, that, like the John Wick kind of, it's a John Wick-esque kind of film. There's even a John Wick reference in this.
Well, see, I was going to say, so there's a scene in this where our character, the kid, he needs to get a gun, and he goes to a guy who's got some, an underworld type who's got some guns, and he says, "This is the gun from John Wick. I've just got it in," and he says, and he turns it down, which I think is sort of the idea behind, well, it's not that kind of movie.
Yeah.
Like it's got some John Wick influences, but this isn't a guy who's like checking his corners and doing tactical reloads. But he's also not like a guy who's just like running into every situation half cocked.
Yeah.
When we saw I think the trailer gives a pretty good impression of what this movie is, which is he's a guy who's got some skills and he's got a plan, but he's also in way over his head.
Yeah. I don't think I realized how way over his head he is until because the first 40 minutes to an hour is him kind of infiltrating this group and working his way up in the organization and planning it out. And to me, I'm like, it seems as if that he has a fairly good idea of what he's doing. And then when it comes to the
don't stop me now, he says.
That's right. But then when it comes to the execution, literally, it's like, he doesn't have either the stomach to do this or even the skills. Like it's very slapdash, and then it slows down quite a bit in the middle.
Yeah.
And so I think the pace of it is I don't think it is I think it's to call this John Wick or Extraction. I don't think it is that. I think it's there's and not to say that those movies are bad because they're obviously not. I think there's more to this. Well, even politically.
I mean, I would say that this movie sort of I get the impression that Dev Patel is a big fan of all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, no,
like
he is,
like
yeah.
action movies from way back. It gives me elements of like Hong Kong action cinema,
Yep.
like Hard Boiled or The Killer. There's a little bit of like the Mission Impossible movies. There's a
Yep.
funny car chase with a funny little car.
Yep.
There's a bathroom fight, which I think is really good.
Yep.
There's like a lot of kind of enclosed space kitchen fights
Yep.
and that sort of stuff. So I think it's
There's elements of
yeah. I mean, it's, I'm sure no filmmaker wants people to be like, well, it's just this cross with this plus this and a little bit of this.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think, every filmmaker brings in their own influences to making their movie. And if you're
Yeah.
a fan of a bunch of stuff, it's going to emerge in it. There's a little bit of Enter the Dragon, I
Yeah.
thought, in this.
Oh,
Yeah.
but there's a mirrored kind of sequence. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think also what is interesting in this, it's the myth of it. So the Monkey Man in this, so he's like a professional wrestler, sort of. It's kind of
Yes.
this underground fighting ring, but it's rigged. But also you sort of also really get hurt.
Yeah, it's
scripted, but they
Yeah, he's playing a sort of heel. He's a man in a monkey mask, and he almost always loses. Like the crowd come in to see him, beaten to a pulp, and that's where he's learned his fighting skills, I guess. Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's based on an Indian kind of creation myth about a monkey who eats the sun.
Which you shouldn't do.
No, you shouldn't do.
It's bad for your tummy.
Yeah, it's bad for your little tum-tum.
Yeah, and then he's punished by the gods and whatever. But I loved, because, we don't get a lot of this in mainstream cinema, but seeing that kind of mythology and hearing him talk about it, he apparently, he rejected a lot of his Indian heritage kind of growing up. Like growing up in the UK.
He wanted to embrace his British heritage.
That's right, exactly. Which he did.
That's right.
In the TV show Skins and Others.
Mushy peas for me, he said.
Yes.
No eating the sun for me. I'll simply eat some mushy peas.
Well, that's funny, because he said, but what stuck with him was this particular myth.
Right.
And he loved the imagery of it. He said there's even parallels to Superman. There is images of this character opening up his chest. And which is that's the Superman thing, and not to say that this
and the Optimus Prime thing.
Yes, it's the matrix of leadership, etc. Who did it first? Who knows? Probably this. Not to say that Superman stole this concept, but it is kind of imagery and and hero worship and that has existed in different cultures. And I think just seeing this perspective on that, I really enjoyed.
Now, we haven't really said, do we like the movie?
No, it was bad, Mason. I didn't like it at all. No, it was great. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's not perfect, but it is also his first movie. And the fact that he made it for $10 million
it's amazing to me the way this came together. And just hearing I like it even more considering how much of it went wrong.
Yeah. I wouldn't have said, because I watched I read a little bit of information about the movie after seeing it, and apparently I think it's the kitchen. There's a fight in a hotel kitchen.
Yeah.
And that is where he broke his foot or his hand or whatever, and he had to re-choreograph the sequence, so he only used one hand and one foot. And I wouldn't have noticed that.
No idea. Yeah.
What I did notice, and I think you probably noticed this as well, is they do that thing where there's some frame drops. Where somebody takes a swing at somebody else, and you take a frame out or two, so it looks like it's coming in really fast.
Yeah.
Kind of that is fairly prevalent. But I mean,
Yeah, I think there's a stylistically as
yeah,
well.
Yeah. I mean, it's got a lot of kind of handheld.
Yeah.
There's
camera work. Limitations on space and crew and
that's true. Yeah.
COVID and all these other things that happened. Yeah. Charlton Copley's in it as well. Who's great, who they got for a few days.
Who is Mr. District 9. Yeah. And he's also the voice of Chappie and Chappie.
And the body of Chappie.
Yeah. And one of the guys in the A-Team.
Yes, he is. His face. No, he's the other one. Mad Dog, whatever.
Yeah, Mad Dog McCready.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and apparently he was he brought him in and mostly just went, do whatever.
Sure,
and you can kind of see that. I think also some other stuff that I really liked about this, again, there's when that kind of slows down the middle, and it does take this, which I had no idea about any of this, but there's a pretty substantial focus on not only the underclass in India, but also the trans community, which has been a thing which has been around for hundreds of years. So they're called the Hijra. Yeah, and this idea of a third gender in India, and these are the people who after some things happen to him in the movie where he's taken in to kind of heal and train and all of that, and then that becomes a larger part of the story as it goes on. And I just didn't know that this was in it. I thought it was really great, and the lead actor in that, whose name I don't have, was a really good kind of mentor figure that shows up. I thought the montage.
Their name is Vipin Sharma.
There we go.
I'm looking at
I thought the training kind of the Rocky style montage was really cool, and so he basically does this training montage to a drummer, Like he's tapping away on a drum.
Look, I did like it, but also I kind of felt like
I really liked it. I thought it was really.
I
cool.
liked it, but it also he's sort of the character of the kid sort of transformed from a guy who was sort of constantly on the run to like a guy who can steamroll everybody.
Yeah,
by
rhythm.
By
it's the Rocky 3 method.
Okay, it's the rhythm.
It's rhythm.
By punching a bag to the sound of a drum.
Yeah,
okay, no, you're right.
Well, it's not just anybody. That's Ravi Shankar, who taught George Harrison the sitar in the 60s.
The real Ravi Shankar or Ravi Shankar Jr.?
Oh, I think it's the same guy.
Is it?
Yeah.
God, I would have thought he'd be dead now. James, I'm not wishing it on him. Is it really Ravi Shankar?
I'm pretty sure it is.
You are making some bold claims there.
Maybe it's not. No, you're right. It might be Junior.
I knew it.
Yeah, you think you're pretty good, don't you?
Yeah. When did Ravi Shankar die? Was it 1981?
No, he died in 2012. When did I get this wrong?
I don't know.
Because it was a guy who worked with the Beatles.
Okay. Was it Paul McCartney?
Yeah, it was Paul McCartney.
It was Paul McCartney in his Pirates of the Caribbean makeup.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah. Look, I can't find it.
That's fine.
Anyway, I really liked it. I liked that a
right.
lot. Yeah.
People also I like. I mean, this cast is largely unknown to me, besides Dev Patel and Shalto Copley.
Yep.
But we've got Pitobash Tripathi, who is an indie actor who works in Bollywood films. He's the sidekick guy. He's a little guy, and he's a small time criminal underworld guy, but and the kid sort of uses him to as his entryway into this world of the criminal underworld. And I thought he's got a little hotted up kind of tuk car.
That's right.
I liked him. I thought he was great.
They stole this idea from Indiana Jones 5.
That's true. He's a bad guy, but he's not a guy you want to see, get his head kicked off.
He's a bad guy in the sense that like a lot of people, he's a victim of circumstance. He's just trying to survive. Because when you see him, like, he kind of talks himself up like he's like this big shot in the underworld, but they think he's a joke, I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
And other notable cast members, Sikander Kher, who's the evil Freddie Mercury. I thought he was great.
Yep.
And boy, just on headshot alone, Makaran Deshpande, who plays the kind of spiritual leader of the right wing government.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this headshot.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Gorgeous head of hair on that guy.
How's he doing it?
Great. Love it.
Should we do some spoilers?
Let's do some spoilers. I mean, before we can do spoilers, I think the action's really solid, which is good.
Yeah.
Again, the kid's got a very distinctive fighting style, which I liked.
He's rangy as well.
He is rangy. Yeah.
And also, he had to stay ripped for like 9 months that they took to film this, which is, I mean, as someone who is ripped 9 months of the year.
Right.
That's very hard.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Love all of that.
And you have to but for people who don't know also, you'd be ripped 12 months of the year, but you have to force yourself to eat a bunch of donuts and stuff.
That's right, exactly.
For the winter months, you get a little...
I'm building mass,
that's
cultivating
exactly right,
mass.
Yes. Mm-hmm, yeah.
Anyway, spoilers?
Yes. Best movie ever. Yeah. Good time. Check it out.
It's John Wick in India.
Not really.
It's exactly that.
There's
the John Wick gunners in it.
If you do like the John Wick movies, I think you would enjoy this.
Yeah, if you like Extraction, John Wick, all of it. But I think there's also some other things here where you're not just like, oh, it's just that.
Yes, that's true.
I think there's also depth to the character. And again, not to say that John Wick and Chris Hemsworth's Jake Extraction doesn't have that, but which I found interesting.
Yeah.
And I like the way they unfold his backstory.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get all of it.
There's also a political undercurrent. I read some articles on it, but I don't really, I wouldn't want to get into it because,
Because he's a coward. He's an absolute coward.
I'm a coward. I mean, I am.
Well, I'm with the underclass.
Okay. Well, I'm with the Richie Riches.
Yeah. Dev Patel said for him, Monkey Man is an anthem for the underdogs, the voiceless, and the marginalized.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Good stuff.
Spoilers. So he trains up and then he kills everybody all the time.
Sure does, yeah.
And then he has help from his community coming in, and they're also doing a big fight scene, which I enjoyed quite a lot. There's a moment where he lets the main politician, not the guy that you showed the picture of with the great head of hair, get away. Yes. He's kind of the puppet rising to power so they can like trample people and everything. And you see him get away down the elevator. I'm like, oh no, that guy got away, but he was probably beaten to death down there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. I think it was interesting the parallels between the lead bad guy, not Freddie Mercury, the other guy and him, because they both came from nothing and all
that's
that.
True, yeah.
And he was aware that this guy is now could become this myth that's going to take them down, but he never said, "Me and you are the same."
It's true.
Which I appreciated.
Yeah.
Or maybe he did, but I didn't.
He did say, "Let's stab each other, and then we'll be the same," in the sense that we'll both be stabbed.
Yeah. So
I don't think there's a little too spoil for this movie. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, it's a revenge story.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't really...
There's no huge twist. There's nobody turns out to be anybody else's father or anything like that.
The twist to me was that, like, the initial... Like, because the infiltration I found so interesting about him working his way up through this club.
There's a moment where he starts feeding a dog regularly. So
and you're like, oh, he's being friendly to this. Yeah, stuff like that. But then
it turns out he's being friendly to the dog. So later he can pass through the metal detectors of this building, go out the back, and have a dog retrieve a gun for him.
Yeah.
He trains the dog to
love that.
Bring him a little Hessian sack with a gun in it.
Again, all things like that, and even getting the guy alone in the bathroom, he puts bleach in the cocaine or whatever, get him in there. But then when it comes to him, like, pulling the trigger on his plan, literally,
he can't do it.
There's a hesitation, and then he's fucked.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting.
I would have simply avenged my mother with a single bullet to the head.
Straight up.
Yeah.
And then I would have escaped.
Yeah, exactly. Easily.
Effortlessly and wordlessly.
Yeah.
But
I would have said, this guy shot himself in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Probably because he regretted... He was like, I took too much cocaine, and that's a moral failing, so I'm going to shoot myself in the head.
I thought that was... Yeah, I just love that, like, oh, shit, there was, like, a panic of, like... Oh, he doesn't know what he's doing. Like, he really is just, like, muddling his way through this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we got some reviews here. This is from Alfie. It says, #WeeklyPlanetPod. Monkey Man was messy, but I enjoyed it. I think that's a good way to put it, actually. Music was odd. Really like the classical guitar fight, but that being followed by a death metal fight was weird. Also, Roxanne playing when he saw the sex work he fancied was too on the nose. Oh, that is true. That's
true. What an odd needle drop there, yeah.
That's true. Russell Michaels said, #WeeklyPlanetPod. Monkey Man, dope. BME, which means best movie ever. Oh. The Slumdog Skillionaire, nice.
He was the Slumdog Millionaire. He's been Dev Patel's all over the place.
He is. Into the role of Hanuman, the deity worshipped by the Jabari tribe in Black Panther. Is that true?
I know.
Dev Patel is triple threat, writing, directing, and starring. Gives me the Raid series vibe. And that's another thing that was influenced by. He mentioned that.
That's also, filmed in Indonesia.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Indonesia. That's where you're Indonesia. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. I would say, you could definitely check this out.
You could.
You could definitely go to the movies.
And you know what? It's an original property.
Yeah, that's right.
As much as we've said, where's its influences on its sleeve, which it does, I think. It's not based on a comic book.
No.
It's not based on a vanity comic book that Dev Patel has had made where it's about a guy, a martial arts guy who looks exactly like him.
Are you talking about Keanu Reeves' upcoming Berserker movies? This is a shot at Keanu Reeves.
It's a shot at all of them. There's more than one of these.
What are the other ones?
There's others.
Okay.
I can't remember any others. But they exist.
I was going to say Bloodshot, but that's not exclusively a Vin Diesel.
No, that's true.
Property, is it?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wouldn't put it past Vin Diesel to look at a comic book stand and see Bloodshot and go, "That's me."
That's me. Who made this comic about me? All right, should we move it along?
Yeah, let's move it along.
Okay,
check it out. Original idea.
Check it out.
It's a rare breed these days.
Yep. What are we doing?
We're doing what we're reading.
Yep.
What are we going to read?
Whoa. I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today? What are you up to?
Ripley is out.
Ripley's Believe It or Not?
Ripley's Believe It or Not. It's getting a reboot. Dean Cain is back.
Dean Cain is back.
Was he a host of Ripley's
He was
Believe It or
Ripley.
Not?
He'd be like, do you believe this? No.
And so was Jonathan Frakes. That's where all the
Was he did Ripley's Believe It or Not? He do a different thing.
No,
did he like Tales from This Isn't Real?
Oh, that's a really good point. But he's you've seen those Jonathan Frakes kind of supercuts asking all the questions. I was confident that was Ripley's Believe It or Not, but
I don't know. I'll find out.
Please, if you could. But Ripley is the retelling of The Talented Mr. Ripley with Andrew Scott.
Oh,
as a series,
that's right.
and it's on Netflix. So I'm going to check that out, man.
I have not seen that, and it's in black and white.
It looks like it's in black and white.
Artistic.
That's very artistic. It's old timey, also. I think that's cool. So I'm going to check that out. And I'm on holiday, so I'm going to
beyond belief, fact or fiction.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right. But I'm on holiday, so I'm going to just catch up on a bunch of stuff that I haven't had a chance to see because I've been at work. So all sorts of things.
What are you thinking? Invincible, for one.
Yeah, I haven't checked. I
finished Invincible. I enjoyed it.
Satisfying? Let me ask you this, James.
Yeah.
Has the action, thus far, the action I've seen has not superseded that Atom Eve special?
Oh, that was incredible.
Right? Where she's using her powers in incredible ways. I don't think she's used them in the series.
Not like that. She hasn't had a moment like that. Yeah.
I mean...
That will... Apparently, it's going to ramp up even more season 3.
Right. I mean, Invincible really is about very powerful men punching holes in each other. So, and I guess it hasn't let us down in that regard.
The finale of part 2, he has a fight with... He's probably one of his greatest nemesis or ongoing threat, Angstrong Levy, and that's through multiple dimensions and whatever. But I think there's the one that I am looking forward to. There's a guy called Conquest who shows up.
Uh-huh.
That's the one that I want to see. I think that will probably be season 3.
Okay.
Which is an insane fight. Well, it is in the comics at least. Yeah.
Okay. Are they punching holes in each other?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mostly.
All right then.
Yeah.
That's terrific.
That's one of my favorite moments from that comic.
Okay, all right.
Lots
I
of
watched
blood.
Asteroid City finally.
Oh, and?
It's really good. It's
Was
fun.
it better than most?
I think my favorite Wes Anderson movie is still The French Dispatch.
Yeah.
People have called me insane for that, James, but I think it's delightful.
Oh.
People on the internet.
They're not allowed to do that.
Like, you're wrong about that.
They should be nice
You're
to
wrong
you.
about subjective things.
But that's rude of them to say that.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I don't like that. I don't like the way they talk to you. And I'd stand up for you, but I don't want to poke my head out. And,
No, don't do that. They'll bully you.
Yeah, I don't want
They'll
that.
bully you for all your obvious flaws.
I don't have any obvious flaws. I don't have any obvious flaws, do I? Listen, write in. What are my obvious flaws?
That's right.
I'm looking for ways to...
And you can't say too handsome or too funny.
No.
Not a flaw. And also not true.
I'm looking to lower my self-esteem. So if you could help me out, that'd be great.
It's been too high lately.
No, you're great.
The podcast suffers, I think, when our esteem is too high. Our
That's often what happens, you know what I mean?
yeah.
People get too big for their britches.
That's right.
And I want my britches to be the right size.
That's right.
I saw
30 waist britches.
I saw Kung Fu Panda 4.
Okay.
It's been
Of your own volition?
I took my kids.
Okay.
And they like Kung Fu Panda, and I like Kung Fu Panda, the first 3.
Okay.
This one felt more like, I liked it, but it felt more like there's a bunch of Netflix series, and it felt kind of like that. Like it was like...
All these Kung Fu Panda
Yeah, there's a bunch.
shows.
Or at least
Is it
2.
still Jack Black?
Yes, Jack Black, or one of them at least.
All right.
The Furious 5 are not really in it, or their voices aren't.
Oh, no, not the Furious 5 are
Yeah,
not in
it's
it.
like Jackie Chan and Angelina Jolie and like Seth Rogen and David Cross. And there's another one maybe. Can't remember.
Okay. How do they do as voiceover
They're good.
artists?
They're
Generally?
fun.
Okay,
It's like basically like they're superheroes in the universe. These
yeah, right.
5.
What was the last live action thing Angelina Jolie was in?
God, that's a
Maleficent? One of the
Salt?
Maleficent sequels?
Salt?
Yeah, it was Salt. Yeah, that's right.
Let me
I
check.
mean, maybe she's she's got a lot of kids, and maybe she's moving
Yeah.
mostly to voice acting.
It says she was in Lara Croft's Tomb Raider. When was that?
That was some time ago.
That was 2001.
Okay, well, it's actually not 2001 anymore.
You're right.
That's actually pre-Tron Legacy. So
Was that
that's
the year of the Space Odyssey?
Yeah, that's when 2001: A Space Odyssey.
She
came
also
out.
directs.
Yeah, okay, that'll do it.
She did, the last movie she starred in. Oh, she was in the one and only Ivan. She was a voice in that, but she was in Maleficent from 2019,
Oh, okay.
and she's doing a movie called Without Blood, which is in post-production. Oh, I watched a movie where, like, she's like a firefighter. It's like a firefighter action movie.
You think of Madam Web.
No,
And you think of
it's-
Dakota Johnson and she was a paramedic.
What the hell was that called?
Don't know.
It's like a firefighter action movie.
Okay. You think of the...
Those Who Wish Me Dead.
you
That's
think
right.
of the 1990s Australian drama series Fire?
I am thinking
It
of
was about
yeah.
firefighters and it was sexy?
Yeah, my dad, who's a firefighter and brother, were like, this sucks.
Wow.
Yeah, that was 2021. She did Those Who Wish Me Dead.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
She was a smoke jumper.
I've also seen a bunch of stuff at the Melbourne International Comedy
Oh,
Festival.
name one.
I'll name 2. I saw a bunch of stuff that I like, but they've finished their runs. But continuing to do their run, Grace Jarvis was very funny. She has a show called The Horrors.
Nice.
Straight up stand up, very funny. She's
Like
very
Grace
good.
Jarvis?
And I saw a show called by a guy called Oliver Coleman.
Oh.
He's a Melbourne boy. And
Is he
was-
related to Olivia Colman?
No, but there is a joke in the show about that.
Oh.
But he's very high energy. He's
I thought
very
at
fun.
first.
He's a witty guy. A couple of years ago, he and Blake Everett did a show called Oliver Coleman and Blake Everett Dig Their Own Graves, which was about a show where they were on the run from the mafia, and so they entered a witness protection program where they did they went into witness protection and as 2 comedians doing a show where they were on the run from the mafia. It's very
good.
meta, but it was good. I'd not seen him do solo stand up before, but it was very good. I recommend those 2.
There you go.
2 shows. If you want to see Auntie Donna's The Most Upsetting Guessing Game in the World, it's sold out. You can't see it.
Can't say it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
And it's upsetting.
Yeah, but you can watch it on YouTube.
That's right.
There's a bunch of them on YouTube.
That's right.
And they are very upsetting.
Just to quickly get back to Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, yeah,
4,
sorry. Sorry, I interrupted you. I was speaking of Kung Fu Panda 4.
This is why I think they're like so they didn't get those voice actors back. Aquafina is in it.
Okay.
As a new character. And then they bring
Annoying duck.
Yes, basically. No, she's a fox person or something. There's returning villains. from the previous 3 movies, but only one of them is voiced.
Okay.
So it's like, this feels kind of like, if you're going to do it, can you do it and not just have them stand there?
Okay.
You know? So I found that a bit like, this would have been a really good opportunity to bring back the 3 previous villains. And I think all the villains are quite interesting, including the new one in this, but they don't really do anything with that.
Where do these stand in terms of like Pixar, Are they a DreamWorks production?
DreamWorks. I think they're really solid.
Okay,
yeah,
right.
I think they're pretty good.
Are they cringe?
No, they're not cringe.
Bearing in mind I found Super Mario Brothers to be cringe.
It's not. No, it's funny. They're funny too.
Okay,
Jack Black
good.
is a really
No,
good
I guess that's true. But I mean, that didn't save Super Mario Brothers for me, did it?
Oh yeah, he was in that.
Does the Kung Fu Panda, does this movie or the series, does it use that instrumental sting from Kill Bill? You know, that one goes, dum, bum, 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 bum,
maybe.
Bam, bam, bam. You know,
I think at one point, or at least one of the trailers does it.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. You should watch them though.
Fine,
I think they're good.
Fine, I'll go to the movies by myself.
No, not this
during
one.
school holidays and watch Kung Fu Panda 4.
Yeah, man. Anything else, or should we move it along?
Nah.
All right.
Yeah.
Time to go.
It's letters time.
Letters.
The classic one was letters, oh letters, we love you, some letters.
Whoa. I love it. Having a good time. We are having a good time.
We're having a good time.
So what do you think about having a good time?
If you're out there listening and going, I'm not having a good time.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
You should be in here.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, maybe it doesn't. In fact, I'm almost positive it doesn't translate.
Yeah.
We're having a good time in here.
Why aren't you having a good time?
So get in here and have a good time.
Why aren't you having a good time?
Yeah. Get over yourself.
Yeah, man. If you want to reach the show, #WeeklyPlanetPod or weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com.
That's right.
Get on the Twitter.
That's
Use
right.
it. Get on it.
Do you think that should be their slogan?
Yeah, get on it, please.
Yeah. It should be X. Get on the Twitter. Use it.
Here we go. What do we got?
This is from Sam.
Sam?
Long-time listener, first-time writer.
Wow,
My
Sam.
girlfriend and I have just bought our first house together in Manchester.
Whoa, must be nice.
It must be. It says best city in the UK. That'll ruffle some feathers in the UK.
Is that true, though, even?
Well, I don't know. Other people should email in and
tell
tell
us.
us if
Yeah.
Manchester is the best city in the UK.
Tell us if Manchester's the best city in the UK.
Is it the home of Oasis? Probably.
I don't know. I think they live in Liverpool. Am I thinking of the Beatles?
You are thinking of those Beatles.
Yeah, cool, man.
Those fine Beatles. And we had to decide whether to keep our DVDs or not. I've been hot and cold about keeping DVDs in the past, but I think I'm firmly in camp keep them, especially due to the uncertain streaming landscape right now. Firstly, what is your opinion on keeping DVDs? Do you think it's a dead medium or are they worth holding on to? Absolutely hold on.
Basically, everything is a dead medium.
Well, that's true.
That's what they'll tell you.
Yeah.
But no, keep them.
Yeah,
absolutely keep them. I don't, but you should. I want somebody to keep them, but I'm not going to. Yeah, especially
So you can borrow them.
Yeah, I need
not
to borrow
give them back.
I need to borrow the Iron Giant, not on Blu-ray, regular DVD.
Regular DVD.
Yeah, which I own somewhere.
Yeah, nice.
But I think I mean, streaming services are fucked. We all know that.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. Taking things away and physical media
yeah,
distribution's
exactly.
cooked and whatever.
Sometimes there's stuff that you don't want to watch and it's on every streaming service that exists. And you're like, oh, I remember that movie. I'd love to watch that. And it's on Netflix, I think. And you go to Netflix and it's just gone.
Yeah, that's right.
It's annoying.
It is annoying.
It's annoying. And then you have to pay like $6.99 for it on YouTube or whatever.
And that's annoying.
That's
or pirate
annoying.
it.
Or pirate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which you're allowed to do.
You could do that also.
We endorse that.
We endorse it. That's right.
Yeah. No, hang on. If you've got the space.
Yeah.
And look, if you bought your place, that probably means you'll be there for a
Yeah.
while. So you're not like, you don't have to move out and take them
true.
with you and whatever.
Secondly, he says, this prompted me to check out some of the classics I enjoyed growing up, and two in particular unlocked deep and joyful memories of binge watching. The first is Master of Disguise, and the second is Mystery Men.
2 movies.
Have either of you seen these? Would you consider covering them on Caravan and Garbage?
I've seen Mystery Men. I have not seen Master of Disguise.
Yeah, I've only seen clips of Master of Disguise.
I've seen the turtle scene and some other pieces.
I think Master of Disguise put a bunch of people in director/actor jail.
Yeah.
Including Dana Carvey.
Yeah, that's right.
I think.
Could it be any worse than some of the Austin Powers movies?
It must be much worse. It's much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Unless
I haven't
it's great,
seen it.
I don't know. And I haven't rewatched Mystery Men in a very, very long time. So I remember enjoying it at the time.
Yeah, I liked Mystery Men.
I'm
And
not
that was pre kind of comic book boom.
That was pre-comic book boom.
So it is based on a comic book?
Yeah, it's based on
Captain Carrot and something.
James.
Some of those
It's so
characters.
close and yet so far.
I know, it's just because it's not that, but it's something.
It's
based on Helldivers 2.
No, it's not, James. It's based on some minor characters from Flaming Carrot comics.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I would love to revisit that. Greg Kinnear is like a corporate-sponsored superhero.
I'm Greg Kinnear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is our in there? What would have to come out for us to watch that?
Comic book movies that you didn't know were comic book movies.
Love that.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
We'll do The Rocketeer.
Nice.
We'll do The Shadow.
Yep.
We'll do The Phantom.
Yeah.
We'll do Green Hornet.
That's right.
What do you think?
Yeah.
And then we'll do Blade 2.
Yeah.
And then we'll do that podcast where we do the last Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
And of course, Snake Eyes, which is actually next week. I got a one. Sweet.
You got a one? You got a one?
Hashtag Week of the Planet Pod.
Nice.
Andrew says,
This dude's got a one.
Kind of late to the party, but Shout Studios did a Blu-ray release of Dog Soldiers. There we go. Speaking of physical media.
Oh, yeah.
And it's pretty available. I bought the Steel Book. I would love to get an audio commentary or Caravan of Garbage. This one. Cheers. Yeah, Dog Soldiers is a lot of fun from memory. It's a trapped in a house, werewolves are going to kill you.
That's right,
movie.
yeah.
And it's got, I was going to say it's practical. It's all practical because it's it's a fucking low-budget werewolf movie from like the early 2000s.
Yeah, if you...
Ian Cunningham is in it.
Oh, yeah.
Davos. What's his name? He's the Onion Knight from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
Thanks.
If you like physical media, there's a bunch of companies that do like small runs of obscure stuff and just keep an eye on those guys.
Keep it keen.
Umbrella Entertainment.
Is it?
For example.
He's in it. Liam Cunningham is in it. It's also got Sean Pertwee. That's fun, isn't it?
Is he a Doctor Who?
He sounds like he is, but no.
I'm thinking
Kevin McKidd.
I'm thinking of John Pertwee.
Who I like as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good cast, man.
Yeah. I'm going to find another email.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to read
great.
this. It's from Red Lion Flames. Said, if you ever decide to bring Lucifer, this is to James Gunn, but he's tagged us into the DCU, bring a Tom Ellis 17 back. You could make him a parallel version. Each universe could have their own god and Lucifer. Maybe you could show up in a Justice League or John Constantine movie. I've never seen Lucifer.
What if both James Gunn and Tom Ellis separately tweeted back at this guy? Mind your own business.
Shut up. Stay out of it. We're not actually taking on suggestions at this time.
Yeah.
I don't think James Gunn is looking to do any of that at this point. Maybe down the line, but I think he wants to establish new characters, new universe. Anybody who's an existing character that we know is going to be recast this point. That's what I think, but I don't know. I haven't seen Lucifer, but people seem to like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is emailed in to say, Dearest Mason, if you're reading this, tell James he's a drongo.
What?
All caps.
No, I'm not.
I appreciate you doing this for me. I don't know what beef you and Noid have.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you want me to tell you what he did?
Yeah. Tell me off air.
Okay.
Maybe he's the drongo.
Oh, man. So, yeah. No, we're just joshing.
We're just joshing.
We're just a joke we have, me and this
right.
guy whose name I remember. We're just joshing, Mason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any others?
I'm going to find one.
Sheldon, the rapper, says, hey, Mr. Sunday Movies and at Wikipedia Brown and at hashtag Weekly Planet Pod. I like to watch the films you're reviewing before listening. Could you possibly tell me what you're watching in the next week's episode?
We say it at the end.
Said, please do not respond with lies like Snake Eyes. Well, that is happening. It's not a lie.
Yeah, that's next week, obviously.
We're going to be doing next week at Civil War, the Alex Garland movie.
That's right.
And maybe also Late Night with the Devil.
Oh, yeah.
At least.
That's exciting.
But we're doing at least Civil War.
At least Civil War, yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
But yeah, maybe we should put it in the episode description.
Sure.
What we're doing next week.
People can come here.
Well, I was going to say.
They can come.
If you're not a fake fan, you go to the end of the episode where we're just rambling and not saying nothing of any import, and then. Because that's how we get, I don't know if people know this, that's how you get the podcast big bucks. People listen all the way to the last second. Give it a bit of a blah, 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 blah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's where we do the bonus ad at the end.
Yeah.
That's where all the money is, in that final ad that people listen to.
That's right.
Yeah.
Podcasts do have ads right at the end now.
Yeah.
You stop, the episode ends.
Ours probably does. I'm pretty sure they do. I mean, I've never listened to one.
And that's often because I'm like walking from the supermarket and I've got 2 bags of shopping or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't be bothered. I'd have to set everything down.
Listen to this. What food service company am I?
That's right.
What box of food am I getting to my door?
That's right. I love it.
It's called Green Chef.
That's right.
It comes to your door, all the food is green. It's already cooked, or you prepare it yourself.
We have a Green Chef sponsorship. I don't know if you were.
Is that actually real?
Yeah, I had to do one. You were away or something.
That's a real company?
Yes.
That's my new recorder.
They're owned by HelloFresh. What are you doing, James? We're fired now.
Nah, man, we got paid.
Okay, great.
That was that long ago. We got the money.
Is
it good? Is it you endorsed it? Is it a good company?
Yeah, it's good.
Is it one of the best?
We like HelloFresh. You actually
not HelloFresh. This is Green Chef.
They're owned. HelloFresh owns
subsidiary.
Green Chef. They're a subsidiary.
What's green about it? Tell me about this. This is the ad, by the way. What's this?
It's an interrogation. All right, it's just green M&Ms, all right? They give you a big Tupperware container of green M&Ms, and I just ate them. I ate them over the sink. Is that what you want to hear?
They pack it in ice?
Yep.
Yep.
So they're wet. Because the biggest problem with M&Ms, James, I don't know if you're aware of
dry.
this. They're dry and they say, oh, melts in your mouth, not in your hand. Well, what if I want them to melt in my hand?
Yeah,
you
man.
put ice in them, they get all wet, and then you got green hands. And that's what I want. Here's an email from Diana. Hey,
Yep.
James and Mason, my wife and I have been big fans of you both.
Woo!
For years, but while we were eating the fanciest of cheeses while listening to an episode of the classic Comic Book Club,
that's a good one.
We realized we weren't sure what the recording schedule is like. Does Mason come by for one day and the two of you marathon record?
Oh, that's a
Or do you
good
spread it
question.
out a bit more throughout the week? Thanks
We spread
again
it
for all
out.
the years of entertainment. We spread it out. Well, I mean, it depends on the week.
Yeah.
But
We normally do the podcast with something else. It might
Yeah.
be a Caravan of Garbage or a bonus thing.
or a video sometimes.
video.
The audio for a video.
And then we do 2 or maybe 3 things on a different day,
Yeah.
which is a video or a whatever. Or
Bonus podcast, something like that.
etc. Because you can't, sounds ridiculous.
Some people can.
I can't talk for that long.
No, some people are very good at it. I know the Auntie Donna boys are very
Yeah.
good at doing, 6 podcasts in a day and
Yeah.
then sort of meter them out throughout the weeks because they've got other stuff on,
Yeah.
like live commitments and touring,
And you can't
etc.
feel the energy waning.
No, that's true. Yeah, but I think I sort of run out of words at a certain point.
I especially find that with movie commentaries.
Yeah.
That if I do a movie commentary, I can't do anything else ever again.
Yeah, right.
And I don't know why it's that in particular, because
Yeah.
you'd think it wouldn't be that hard. And none of this really is not a
No.
real job.
It's not real
Yeah.
job stuff. No,
Yeah.
absolutely not. But some people can do it, and sometimes we'll go if we're stuck.
Yeah.
Like if we run out of stuff, we'll do a podcast and a couple of bonus things or whatever. But by the end of the second bonus podcast,
Yeah.
you're saying a thing, and I'm like, haha, yeah, yeah. And we try not to do that. We try.
Yeah,
we're
well,
doing bonus stuff.
and that's also why
people
we-
are paying for it.
Yeah.
So
And that's why we only do like 2 or 3 at a time max, because we don't want it to be like just, oh, what? What did you say to me? You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what it devolves to often.
Exactly.
What did you say to me?
What did you
Did
say
you
to
try to promote Green Chef to me? You son of a bitch.
I would never. Then you show me your green hands.
That's right.
You're already a member.
That's right. That's right. And the president.
Oh, no.
And I'm here to throw green hands, buddy.
Anything else?
No, that's the whole show, I reckon.
Cool, man. Oh, by the way, if you are at bigsandwich.co, we did the Deadpool video game. That's
right.
gone up. Fidel has edited that, and it is there.
That's right.
So many video games.
Folks, thank you so much for listening. We absolutely appreciate it. Thank you for telling your friends about the podcast because that is how we get new listeners.
That's right. We demand it.
Thank you for leaving a 5-star review on your podcast catcher of choice. You can probably do it in app.
Just bring
on
it
your
up
app.
now.
And if you do that, James will give you a big read of the
Yeah, that's
review.
right. There's some Crystal, who said 5 stars, by the way. Says the dugong is a marine mammal. It's one of 4 living species of the order Sirenia, which also includes 3 species of manatees. It's the only living representative of the once diverse family Dugonidae, its closest modern relative. Steller sea cow was hunted to extinction in the 18th century.
That's a good description. I can sort of picture it.
Dugong.
Yeah, dugong.
That's like a dolphin who got squashed.
Yeah, squash dolphin.
Squashed.
Should call it squash dolphin.
And this one's from Not 4 Stars. He says, review for the future. Decided to leave a review after listening to the Snake Eyes review. Oh, that's next week. Couldn't agree more with what James said. It was a generally fun romp, but that the plot left something to be desired. 5 stars. That's not what I think of Snake Eyes. He's joking. But I do
Big
actually
laughs
have
there. Good laughs.
I got some opinions on
That's
Snake
exactly-
Eyes, which
You're
I have
right.
watched.
That's right.
And continue to watch.
Folks, if you want to get into contact with us, you can go to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com.
gmail.com.
You can go to the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group. You can go to the Weekly Planet Podcast subreddit and Discord. Thank you to Fidel and Maisie and Surabi
That's right.
for doing all the moderation over there and keeping things fun and light and civil.
Yep.
Over there, talk about podcasts and pop culture.
Or you're
Do-
out.
Do whatever you like.
Or you're fucking out.
That's right.
And you're
exactly.
like, oh, what? I thought this was free speech. It's not. You're out.
Yeah.
You idiot.
We don't believe in it.
Yeah.
That's our main credo over here at the Weekly Planet. We don't believe in free speech.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
you're out.
That's right. That's right. We believe in no free speech and big green hands.
That's right.
If you want to follow some people on the socials, follow our friend Rob Collins. He's at Raw Collins on Twitter. He's at The Weekly Planet on Twitter.
Yes.
He'll keep you updated on all things The Weekly Planet and do all sorts of fun stuff. He edits this podcast.
He does.
He keeps everything going around here. I'll tell you what. You can follow me on Twitter at Wikipedia Brown and Instagram I'm Nick Maso. James is Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere. If you want to support the show, you go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. Chuck in a buck or an amount you would not miss. Or you can go to bigsandwich.co and sign up for $9 per month bonus podcasts, early videos, movie commentaries, video game let's plays, all sorts of stuff.
That's right.
At varying levels of enthusiasm, but we try to keep it high.
We're keeping it high. Don't worry about it. All right?
Don't even worry about it. I would say the batch that's coming out soon, super high, because I'll be on holidays. I'll be sleeping in all day.
So not the batch that we've currently
got.
No,
those are the lowest energy.
No, they're not. I'm looking at what we've got coming up. There's some good stuff here. We're trying to sell it, Mason.
Okay.
Oh, we got that Kingdom Come episode.
Okay, that one's good, actually. We talk about the
Deadpool's
DC
this week,
the DC
Kingdom
classic
Come.
Kingdom Come.
We got this covered. We need to do a movie commentary, actually.
All right.
I was thinking the movie Twister.
Should we do the movie Monkey Man? We could go in and see it, and we could just talk over it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'll be happy to do that.
Okay, great.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
I know there's more stuff.
What?
God.
No, Mason.
Thank you to the Brute and the Basilisk
This
and
is the
Rack and Perla
low-energy part of the podcast.
musical themes. And buy a t-shirt at tpublic.com. You search for the Weekly Planet and you get it right there. And I'm going to be on the live show on the 14th.
And I'll also be there.
James will definitely be there.
All right, guys.
If that sells some tickets, James will be there.
I will be there.
That's
and now we're definitely going.
Next week, Civil War and probably Late Night with the Devil.
And also probably...
For all the true fans out there.
And also the movie Civil War.
Yes!
Political.
Yes.
Political. I have opinions.
That's
Goodbye,
right.
everybody.
Grab that jammy, guys. We'll see you next week. God's laughing at us. Don't forget. He's real and he's laughing at us.
I wish he wouldn't.
Well, that's not your call, is it?
No, you're right.